Hello, my name again is Eric Wortham, and I just want to talk to you tonight a little bit about some things that I do. And I know I've talked to you about these things before in the past, but I had a friend to send a message to me on Facebook today, and one of the comments that she made was that you do such great things to help young people to realize that they have the ability to do anything that they put their mind to. And she ended she ended the message with saying that now I hope some of them listen to you. And I just, I just felt the need and I felt compelled to reply back to her about that because particularly black people, my black brothers and sisters, let me talk to you for a minute. One of the things that I see that is happening in our communities is when I was young, our mom made us go to different functions. We was in church all the time, but she made us go to things that had a positive influence on us. We because we came from the projects and we didn't have money, we had the opportunity to go to things that were didn't cost us anything, but most of those events were designed to try to help us to understand that we can have more than what we see in our environment. And so, one of the things that I said to my friend that sent that message is, I think this is the thing that is hurting us in our community now, is that we have things that we offer, and many of them are for free. We have things that we offer in our communities. We have things that we offer to our kids. Churches now are really doing ministry. They're meeting the needs of the people. There are a lot of churches nowadays are empowering people. We see the fact that pastors are making money and all of these other things. Now that's another issue to me because I think people getting on pastors for getting paid. I think that's atrocious because we don't get on doctors, and they get paid way more sometimes than a lot of ministers do. But they have their work is just as hard. Ministers have to be on call. They have to do funerals at the spur of the moment, and these things that the minister do is not easy. So, but that's another, that's another issue. But churches now, in the 21st century, to the most part, they are offering ministries that are designed to empower people. They are offering ministries that are designed to reach those millennials and that generation that's coming up after the millennials. They are designing ministries to meet the needs of those individuals. But here's the problem. Unlike when my mom made us go to things, we didn't have an option. We couldn't say, "Nah, I'll sleep in today. I don't feel like it." Especially if we're not 18, we did not have the option, and that's what I see that's happening with our kids now. We're giving them the option if they want to go and be influenced by these things that the churches have set up, that other organizations have set up. I know, I have friends all over Georgia, some in other states that are doing great things. They're giving up their time and they're trying to get kids to come to these seminars that they have that are designed to influence our kids. But guess what? They're not coming. I have a class free every Wednesday, every Sunday morning, every Sunday afternoon, and it's engaging. And I'm not just teaching people just Bible, 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 but I'm relating it to real life stuff, real life issues. You've seen the videos. We're talking about how to overcome in life. Yes, God gives us the strength. God is our number one. He is the source of all the strength that we have. But the bottom line, these programs are designed to help our kids to learn how to win, but we don't bring them there. There are times when I have 4 people in the class. Now I must admit there are times that we're full, but there should not ever be a time when there's just 4 people in a class that is designed to help them to learn how to win in life. See, that takes me to the thing. Parents, we have to do better. We have to do better. We have to realize and understand that our kids are the most important things in our life other than God. They are. And if we don't realize that, if we never come to that conclusion, our kids are going to continue to be out there lost and be wondering, like what I said in one of my lessons, why are you still wondering? That's what our kids are doing. They don't have goals. They're not vision oriented. They don't know where they're going. You ask them, where do you want to be? They don't know. I have seniors that come to my class and they still don't have an inkling or an idea of what they want to do in life. Parents, and I'm talking again to those in the black communities, because we have to start teaching our kids how to win. And in order to do that, we have to start making sacrifices. We have to get them to these places. We do. We have to make that important. We have to change our priorities. Your priority can't be going to the club. It can't be having a good time, having fun. Your priority, if you have kids, especially if they're young youth, your priority needs to be making sure that your kids get everything that they need, because we see what's happening to our kids in America. We see some of the things that they're doing. We see what young people are doing right now in America. We see a lot of them losing their lives, over things, trying to get money, trying to get things, but they're doing it the wrong way because they don't have the models, they don't have the direction, they don't have people guiding them. We have to start guiding them. And I'm saying all this because I have a free class that I offer, and many people don't take advantage of it. Many people don't. We started a class at Henry County High. This was, had to be 7 years ago, 8 years ago maybe. We started at an academy at Henry County High. Now, this academy was really designed for those students that were coming out of Henry County Middle School where I taught. And so in this academy they have programs that one program is ran by Georgia Power, line handlers. Students can start taking that program when they get in the 9th grade, starting high school. They can start taking that program, learning how to do the power lines, making $25 to $30 an hour. And they get in that class in the 9th grade. By the time they graduate, they're certified line handlers. Okay, this awesome program. We have barber school. They have a saloon-like classroom that is state of the art. It's state of the art. It is better than any saloon that you can go into, any barbershop that you can go into just out and about. At Henry County High, they have a state-of-the-art program, state-of-the-art teachers. But let me tell you why I say this. The program was started for the students at Henry County Middle, because Henry County Middle is a Title I school. That means that we have over 70% of our students get free lunch. And so that number one is considered, those students are high risk, and also that's considered poverty. A lot of our students live in poverty, and so they started that program for those kids, knowing that some of them may not want to go to college, but they can still go to high school and get in one of those trades. And I just named a few things. They have a lot of wonderful things. Nursing, they can get a head start. By the time they get into 12th grade, after they've been in that nursing program for 9 years, man, they're already ahead of the game. But guess what? Every year we send our 8th graders over there, and we try to encourage them to take these programs. We try to encourage parents to come as well, so they can help guide their kids. Guess what? We only get a handful of students that take it. Out of a whole 8th grade class, there may be 300, 300 or more students. A handful of students take advantage of the program. And I'm saying all this to say that if we want to change our communities, if we want to change society, if we want to change our lot in life, we have to get up off our butt and we have to do some work. I know it's hard. Yeah, I hear people all the time say, these kids here, they ain't no good. Well, it's not necessarily the kids. Sometimes it's the parents. We are the ones that are at home sitting on our butts and not making sure that our kids are taking advantage of some of these programs that people are offering to them for free. Bottom line. So I just said that to say that we need to do better. The other thing that I want to talk about is, you can see now, I have a book out, From Dependency to Freedom, But I Still Must Fight. And this book, I mean, some of the reviews, if I have them on Facebook. One lady that lives in the Eagles Landing Country Club. Now, people that live in the Eagles Landing Country Club. Chris Tucker, Ron Harper, just some very successful people, successful athletes, professional athletes living in the country club. And this is a white family. She bought the book and she was raving. She called me, she emailed me, and she said, I cannot believe that this book, that is short as it is, because I made it intentionally. It's a short book, it's an easy read, and I did it that way intentionally because this is a book that I designed to help people, young people that are struggling with a drug addiction and alcohol addiction. Not only struggling, but you that are already starting to make what I call high-risk choices. High-risk choices lead them to the state of mind where they're addicted to drugs or alcohol. And so I wrote this book so that it can support them and help them and guide them and just give them information to know that some of these things that I'm doing, they may be fun right now, but it's leading me down a road that I don't want to go. But this lady, this Caucasian lady, she called me and she raved about how this book helped her, because she saw everything that she read, she saw in her son. She has a son that is struggling as well. And she was amazed how, when I go through my levels, those stages, she was amazed at how correctly I had those stages. She was amazed that I have a chapter in there where I'm talking about loved ones and people, parents, people that are loved ones of people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol. I have a chapter in that book where I'm explaining what they're going through. Because it's not just the addicted person that is going through stuff. It's the people that love them as well. Because we see that they have this amazing ability. We see the talent that they have. And if they just make some simple changes in their lives, everything can be different. We see this, and it pains us. It tears us apart knowing that all they have to do is make these small changes and they can be on their way to greatness. But they don't, because now they put themselves in a position where they no longer have control of what they do. But again, being a person that grew up in the projects and was experienced drugs and alcohol at the tender age of 10 and became addicted to it by the time I was a senior in high school. Being a person that survived in the military, being addicted to cocaine, being a person that has experienced all of those feelings that an addicted person goes through, I put into this book that is a very easy read. Most people can read this book in 2 days. I had a pastor, he read it in a day and a half. He said, Eric, when I got this book, I started reading and I could not put it down. Once I started reading, I couldn't put it down. Because that's just how powerful this book is. Because let me tell you something. Our kids are doing crazy things and we don't want to accept this. We don't. They're doing crazy things because they're doing drugs. They're smoking weed all the time, and we know for sure that it changes and it affects that area where we have to make decisions. It does. Drugs, alcohol, when we do it at high risk levels, and drugs is always high risk. Alcohol, you can do low risk levels. But when we do things at these high risk levels, we have scanned the brains of people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol, and we see those red spots in that part of the brain, that frontal lobe, where we make decisions. That's the part of the brain that helps us to make decisions. And that's why our kids are making terrible decisions. We know these kids, and when we see them do things, it amazes us because we know them. And we say, we know those kids are better than that. Yes, they are. But they're smoking and they're drinking all the time. And it's affecting their brain. Those young men that watched this young man drown, what did they say they were doing? They say they were smoking weed all day. It's affecting their brain. Brian Nichols, the young man that killed the judges, that killed all those people in Fulton County courthouse years ago, when they did the special on Brian Nichols, guess what he said he was doing all the time? He was smoking weed. So we can be in denial if we want to, but our kids are smoking, particularly weed. They're smoking it at higher levels than we ever smoked in our life. And this weed that they're smoking nowadays is way more potent than what we were smoking, and it's affecting their brains. It is. So I know that some of you have young kids, because at Henry County Middle, we had kids in the 6th grade smoking, getting in trouble, had to get suspended, going in the restroom smoking weed, okay, in the 6th grade. So I know that there's a lot of people out there that have young people that you know or you suspect that they are using drugs and alcohol. This book is the book for you. $15, but it's the best $15 you will ever spend in your life. Because what you can do with this book is see, this is what I want parents to understand, is that until those kids turn 18, and even then, if you're still supporting them and giving them money, they have to do what you say do, or you cut them off. I'm sorry, but that's how life works. But you can get this book and you can read this book. One of the things that you can demand is you can say, look here, you want to smoke weed? This is what you're going to have to do every single day. We're going to sit here and we're going to read this book together. And you're going to overcome that addiction. That you're going to sit here, or you're going to find somewhere else to go live. But we're going to read this book every single day, because you're going to overcome that addiction. Because it's destroying our kids. It's destroying our young people. It is. It is. And my whole life is dedicated. My whole life, I believe that God anointed me. He anointed me to be a vessel to speak to our youth. And that's why I have such a positive connection with the youth. You know, when I was in the school system teaching, my kids, they loved me to death. But I was hard on them. I didn't let them get away easy. I had demands on them. My expectations, just like God, my expectations were higher than everybody else's with our students, because I knew they could make it. Okay, so I was firm, but I also loved them. And they knew that I was coming from here. And that's what we need to do, parents, with our kids. We need to be firm, but we need to let them know that we love them. And we got to take the time out to start changing our priorities and make our kids our priority. Okay, those things that I have going, they can be some powerful things if you take advantage of it. You know, the book is teamwortham.com. You can go and you can buy the book. You can also Facebook Eric Wortham, or you can go to Facebook Team Wortham, either one of them, and you can see the videos that I make where I am teaching mindset principles to young people. And it's helping those young people. They're excited about learning that they can do great things. They're excited about it, because one of the things that I realized years ago is that some of our kids did not believe that they had the ability to do great things. They look at other people and they didn't believe they could do what other people could do. They look at successful people and say, man, I can't do that. You know, they looked at things. I used to hear them all the time say, oh man, I wish I could be like the white folks. Well, you know, mindset, what the beauty of mindset is, it teaches our young people how the brain works. It teaches them that we're all basically born with the same type of brain. And if we challenge ourselves, if we work hard, if we practice, if we do those things that are challenging to us, then our brain grows connections, it gets stronger. Just like a muscle. If we go in the weight room and we lift some weights that make us work, our muscles grow. The brain is the same way. And those are the kind of things that our kids are learning. And when they learn that, it causes something in them to arise, because they want to be successful. They do. But they don't think they can reach success by being a doctor, by being a lawyer, by being a businessman. They don't think they can get it that way. They think they have to go and do it illegally. And they don't have to. And I'm just here tonight to encourage you. If you got kids that are struggling, you got kids that are out there, and you know they're out there, you know they're not paying attention in school, they're not doing work, they're on the verge of failing, they just barely getting through every year. Parents, you need to be focused. You need to, whatever you're doing, whatever you got going on in your life, you need to turn that around, and you need to turn your focus on those kids. Because if you don't, we're going to lose them. Bottom line, if we don't, we're going to lose them. Okay, we got to pay attention. We can't let them get to the point where they start to be addicted. We know, I wish, if I can go back with my own son, talent, you see his pictures all up in here, player of the year, 2 years, 9th grade, starting, on the basketball team. Guy has a lot of talent, boatload of talent, but made some decisions. And I wish, it took me, I had to learn by dealing with him. That's how I've learned. That's how I've gotten all this expertise and certifications and learning how drugs and alcohol affect the brain. That's what motivated me to do that, by seeing my son go through it. And so God has given me the ability. I have learned from the experiences that I had dealing with those same things, and I put it in a book, and now I'm here to help you and your kids to win. That's what we want to do. We want to win. So, from dependency to freedom, but I still must fight. That's a book that you must have, especially if you got young people that are already experiencing drugs and alcohol, and you know it. Even if they're not experiencing it yet, you want to get the book and you want to read it with them every day, so it can help them and encourage them not to go that way, because you're going to see all those experiences that I had with my son, that I had with other players, and they're going to be able to see that. And the best way to prevent is to educate. Okay? And be looking out for these videos that I'm putting out that are talking about mindset and how to change how you view things like your intelligence, your ability, and your talent. Be looking out for things like that. Again, I want to thank you for your time. My name is Eric Wortham, and I'm here and I'm anointed to help you, to help your kids to learn how to win in life. Thank you.